Hi friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be ranking my last 10 palettes. These are the most recent 10 palettes that I've used, and I'm gonna rank them today. I love doing these videos. I love sitting down and just kind of recapping and reflecting on what I used lately and just really trying to figure out what I like more than others and why. And it's always so hard because even though I do try a lot of eyeshadow, I actually am very picky about what I do try. There are so many things that I know aren't gonna be for me, so I'm not even gonna try them, you know what I mean? So that basically just equates to all the things that I use. I know the formulas and I know how much I like them, and it usually just comes down to really nitpicky stuff like which formulas do I like more? Which color stories do I favor more? Which theming is cooler for me? Like there's so many factors that go into it. And I always have so much fun with these videos. You guys always seem to enjoy these videos as well. And I always love hearing your thoughts on these palettes because we could have totally different preferences and that's okay. What is my favorite may not be yours. And I think that's great because it would be so boring if we all had the same preferences. And this video is also exciting because I think this is the last small ranking that I do before my grand ranking of all of my 2025 palettes at the end of the month next month. That's wild. I can't believe this year is already coming to a close so soon. But yeah, we're gonna chat about these 10 palettes. I'll be doing swatches, all that good stuff. I do have looks with all of these palettes across my various platforms if you want to see all of these in action. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Before we do, I did of course film this look. It should already be on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from a recent 4 looks with 4 palettes. And as far as my accessories go, I just have these little snowflakes today. I believe these used to be plugs from Love Kills Boutique that I turned into earrings. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into my ranking of these last 10 palettes. This was so hard. This was so hard. At any point when I was compiling my list of which palettes I got to until I reached 10, did I think something would be at the bottom? I feel like every time I tried and played with something new, I was like, this was pretty solid. Like it was either like something that I predicted would be in the middle or the top. There wasn't a single thing that I was like, yeah, that's definitely in the bottom. These were all fun. These were all, I don't know, cool themes or fun color stories. So even the things that are in the very bottom, I don't think are bad quality wise at all. It really just came down to small nitpicky things of like, well, the next palette I like certain formulas better or just overall themes and stuff like that. It was really, really easy for me to decide on the top 3. That was a no-brainer, but really everything else I've moved around so many times. It was really, really tough, but I think I've settled on my decisions. But just know none of these were horrible. This was a pretty solid bunch. And as always, if you think I'm forgetting a palette, I promise you I'm not. I keep notes of what I'm using and stuff like that so that I don't forget something. So if you think I'm forgetting something, it was either in the last ranking and you missed it, I maybe have it at the point that you're seeing this video, but I haven't played with it yet and it'll be coming in a future ranking, or I just simply don't have it and you were mistaken, my friend. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to number 10. Number 10, I decided to give to the ColourPop How the Grinch Stole Christmas palette. So cute. I love the holidays. I love holidays. I love Christmas time. I love a Christmassy theme. I love a holiday themed palette in general. It makes me happy. It brings me a lot of joy. I'm in such a festive spirit right now. So anything Christmassy just makes me thrilled. I love the classic Grinch. It's one of my favorites. It's like childhood. And this palette was so much fun. I love the inside of the packaging where it says like the Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. It's just so cute. The color story, I will say, isn't screaming Grinch to me. If anything, it's more so screaming just Whoville in general, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's cute actually. And I feel like pictures don't do this one justice because when I first saw pictures of it before it got sent to me, I thought it was very just like light pink. It actually has a lot more like rich like cranberry reddish tones in it that I feel like pictures didn't translate when I first saw them. Lots of really pretty sparkly shimmers, some really cute greens right in the middle. Do I wish it was a little more green heavy for it being a Grinch palette? Yes, but I do think objectively this is a cute color story. But at the end of the day, like ColourPop's formulas, they can be a little hit or miss. This is definitely on the better end for ColourPop palettes in my opinion, but all the other palettes I have to talk about today, it's just like not a question that they're better formulas. Like ColourPop's fine. The mattes are pretty solid. The shimmers in this palette are really pretty. Some of their palettes, the shimmers can be a little lackluster. These ones are really nice. But everything else just genuinely has a better formula. So even though I've enjoyed this palette, I think it's cute, I think it's fun, I think it's thematic. It's not comparable to the other one. Moving on to number 9, I decided to give it to the Simply Posh Gingerbread Bakery. This one is very cutesy, very cutesy. It's very much giving like, half gingerbread, half frosting and sprinkles. Very much like a half pastel, half neutral sort of combination. And the formulas are beautiful, very blendable mattes, very easy to work with. The shimmers are so just beautiful, like glossy, shimmery, shiny, shifty sorts of shimmers. They are gorgeous. But at the end of the day, I'm just not most likely to reach for like a half neutral, half pastel sort of palette. I've had fun with this, don't get me wrong, but I just know me and this isn't like my go-to type of color story, as cute as it is. So for that reason, I just had to rank this one a little bit lower. Everything else I just am simply a little bit more likely to reach for. But again, the quality is beautiful. And I think especially if you're somebody who does gravitate toward these warm, neutral sorts of tones, but want to dabble in color, I think this is a great way to kind of step your foot into that like colorful game, because it's really easy to kind of mix and match these tones together. Moving on to number 8, I decided to give it to the Artificer palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. This one is so cute. To me, it's giving like steampunk meets spicy neutrals. I feel like it's a really good combination of these kinds of mixed metals. I like the orangey tones, the kind of bronziness, even this like brownish green situation at the bottom. I think it's a really just deep, grungy, rusty, warm, metallic kind of palette. The shimmers are so pretty. I love that we have the marbled shimmer, the split pan. I love Fantasy Cosmetica's formulas. I do have a collab with Fantasy Cosmetica, so obviously I love the formulas or I wouldn't have a collab with them. And this is right on par with what I expect from Fantasy Cosmetica. Beautiful blendable mattes, beautiful, delicious metallic shimmers, so many sparkles and lovely things. But at the end of the day, I'm a colorful kind of girl. I do dabble in neutrals here and there, but it's just not my go-to. So because of that, it did get ranked a little bit lower, but quality-wise, absolutely amazing. And I always love seeing what Fantasy Cosmetic is going to come out with next. Moving on to number 7, I decided to give it to the Jolie Beauty and Ozzy Osbourne collaboration palette. I'm so excited to have this. They announced this back in like summertime. It was actually maybe a month or so before Ozzy's passing, so I'm really glad this got to be a thing before his passing happened. But it only came to me recently. They were sending it out after they got their US warehouse set up, so I have it in my hands now, and it's beautiful. It is a larger palette than I typically go for. I tend to prefer things that are a bit smaller. My sweet spot is anywhere between like, I'd say 9 to 15 is my favorite range. That's like my favorite size of a palette, but Jolie Beauty really does a good job with these big palettes of still keeping things fairly like gradient and not too repetitive. I feel like this is a really good kind of half neutral, half sunset sort of vibe. These tones are so pretty in here. I've had a great time playing with like the purples, the reds, the oranges, the yellows. They are so, so gorgeous. Are the neutrals like the ones I'm gravitating toward the most? No, not really, but everything else really is so show-stopping, very eye-catching. The shimmers are beautiful, like so glossy on the lids. When I've played with this palette, I get so many compliments. Everything is so rich and blendable. The formulas are incredible. Honestly, if this was a bit of a smaller palette and just focused on like these sunsetty tones, I may have ranked it a little bit higher, but because it is a bit larger for my liking and has like, you know, all the neutrals that like I don't necessarily care about as much, that's why I ended up ranking it a little bit lower. But I did want to rank it as high as I could because I was really impressed with the quality, so that's kind of how I landed here. This was a lot of fun to play with. Very, very impressed. And it's funny too, because they have come out with smaller palettes. They came out with like a set of 9 pans earlier this year from their Festive Alt collection, but those didn't impress me as much. I feel like they do a good job with their big palettes, so this just must be where they thrive. Moving on now to number 6, I decided to give it to the Nomad Cosmetics Christmas Markets palette. It's so cute. It's like themed around German Christmas markets. The packaging, it's like a Christmas card. It's so cute. Can you tell I love the festive things? But the inside is really pretty. I feel like it's giving very classic Christmas with the traditional, you know, red, green, icy tones, but it also has some deeper kind of dingier shimmers, and I mean dingy as a compliment. We have some more like grungified kind of marbly shimmers down here that make it really, really pretty. I really like just how all of this is set up with the different tones and the way the shimmers are kind of in a tree shape. It's all very cute. Is it the most like unique thing I've seen for a Christmas palette? No. But do I love the just traditional Christmassy vibes? Yes, I do. And Nomad just has an amazing formula. Their mattes are so blendable, they're so buttery, they're so easy to work with, and the shimmers are really pretty. We have really pretty kind of shifty metallics going on in here. Again, I'm loving this kind of marbled shade and this green down here. I had a great time with this one. I think it's a really pretty, well done, just classic Christmas palette. Moving on to the top 5 of these recent 10 palettes. Number 5, I decided to give to the Ice Crystal palette from Odin's Eye, and this was a pleasant surprise for sure. I talked about it in my video where I played with this palette, but upon first glance of it, I wasn't disappointed per se, but I wasn't like over the moon, like, oh my gosh, this is a new favorite palette from them. But as I played with it and like swatched it and created looks, I really enjoyed the different color combinations I could get out of this. And I really just appreciate the kind of iridescent, wintry vibes this is giving. It's definitely like, I have this crystal candle thing back here. I feel like it really does look like when crystallized things have like those rainbow colors and lights and stuff reflecting through them. I feel like it's giving that for sure. I like the combination of the icy tones with the little pops of warmth sprinkled throughout. I love all these minty shades, the purples, so many pretty shimmers in here. And again, like upon first glance, I wasn't like not liking it per se, but I liked it a lot more when I actually got into using it. I enjoyed the color combos I was able to create. I thought this one was a lot of fun. Do I wish this was a little bit smaller? Sure. This is a little bit bulky of a palette just for what it is, but I think it's very cute and I think it's a fun play on this theme. Moving on to number 4, I'm giving it to the Come Play With Us palette by Bella Beauté Bar. This was like their spooky holiday palette. They went with like a wintry theme, but make it horror. They did kind of a play on The Shining, but with like the wintry setting. It's so pretty. I love the icy wintry blues, and then we have like kind of the classic holiday colors with the red and green mixed in. Love Bella Beauté Bar. I think their formulas are fantastic. The mattes are so pigmented and these shimmers are so pretty. So many beautiful sparkles and shifts and just oh, I love it. I love it so much. This was a really fun, just kind of wintry holiday vibe, but with, you know, that spooky twist with the theming and stuff. I thought it was very, very cool. I think it was a fun, unique idea, fun, unique take. And I loved this. I had a great time playing with this one. I liked that I could do things that were a little bit more darker, moodier. I could do things that were kind of in your face Christmassy. I can also do things that are very just icy wintry. I think it's very cute. Very, very cute. And I am a sucker specifically for their 15 pan palettes. They're my favorite. Moving on to the current top 3, like I mentioned in the beginning, it was like no question to me what the top 3 were going to be. This was the easy part of the ranking, honestly. Number 3, I decided to give to the Other Side palette from Clarity Cosmetics. I really enjoy this one. I love these colors. I feel like it's whimsical, grungy garden. I like these rich jewel tones and how colorful it is, but it's still like toned down. There's the pops of lightness in there, but for the most part, it's just moody, colorful, and I love it. The mattes blended so beautifully, great pigmentation, and the shimmers are so, so pretty. I think this is just a really cool combination of colors. I feel like I can visually see just so many cool options you can do with this palette. I like it. I like how petite it is. I feel like there are other palettes that I have that I've tried over this past year. They're a little larger, like not even like big, but just the pans are chunkier or the palette itself is larger. I love how petite this one is. It's very cute. Very fun color story. I've really enjoyed this one. Number 2, I decided to give to the Artitude Cosmetics Submerged palette. I love this. I used this at like toward the end of October and I fell in love with it. I actually talked about it in my November favorites video and I actually thought this was gonna be my number 1 for this ranking, but alas, it kind of got shoved out of the first place spot at the last minute, but I love this. I love kind of a blue, green, purple color story. I love a rich, oceany, mermaidy theme. I am terrified of the ocean, but I love the colors and the themings around it. I just think it's so enthralling. The shimmers in here are so beautiful, really beautiful, shifty, delicious shimmers. I love just all these rich jewel tones. It is so good. Artitude is such an amazing brand. I adore this brand so much. I've been using them over the course of this past year and I've just fallen head over heels in love with this brand, and this is definitely one of my favorites that they've done. I adore this palette. And finally, last but not least, ranked number 1 of this current ranking, I decided to give it to the Melt Cosmetics Edward Scissorhands palette. I can't get over this packaging with like the snow globy snowflake effect. It's so cute. I just purchased this for myself recently and I am head over heels in love. I'm actually wearing the palette right now. I love this. I've had such an amazing time with this one. Not only am I a big fan of like the Edward Scissorhands theming, but this color story is just so good. It's giving grungy winter. I love the bluey purples. I love these kind of grungy greenish shades in the middle. I love the shimmers, My gosh, these are some of the best shimmers Melt Cosmetics has ever done. They're so shiny and glossy looking. They're sparkly and beautiful, and wow, I just love this palette. I'm a huge Melt fan though. Like, I've always been someone who's enjoyed their palettes. I just think they come out with really cool concepts, really fun grungified color stories, and I love this. I love how small and petite it is. I just love the colors. It's just such a great palette. I've had a blast with this one. I'm so thrilled. As I was creating this look, actually, I was like, yep, that's number one. That's the number one of this ranking. It's so special to me. There's something about it that just like really pulls at my heartstrings. It's just such a special one. I really, really love this one. So this one felt deserving of the first place slot. And yeah, that about wraps it up for this ranking of my last 10 palettes. I think these are such a great batch. I love the mixture of spooky and festive in this bunch. That's pretty much the overall theme, is spooky and festive. I would love to hear your thoughts though. Do we share similar tastes? Do we have complete opposite preferences? Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? I would love to know down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me your last 10 most recently used emojis. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I'm battybean over there. And you can also subscribe if you want to see more videos. You're also welcome to hop over to my second channel, linked in my description box if you want additional content, and also in my description box is a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching, I'll pop a similar one on the screen. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one.